Hello, YouTube. It is the middle of the night here in Santa Fe, 1:10 a.m. to be exact. My sleep has been a little off last few nights due to unfortunate circumstances with uh, passing of a close family friend. It's been very hard for me to sleep. But anyway, I have some news. My dad, I had texted my dad to tell him how bad I felt about him losing such a close friend, and also that my loneliness had just reached the point, I said the point of no return, but he understood. I mean, my mom was very upset with me because I was just so upset myself on Friday afternoon, but my dad did understand. He says they are feeling to some degree like me, but not quite as much because they have established friends here. They have some friends, family friends that we've known forever that had moved from Chicago to Santa Fe, and they're very close. And I mean, they've been close with my family for 45 years. So, back in Chicago, and they also moved to Santa Fe. So they have a son and his family here. But anyway, so they do have friends, and they have gotten out more, and they do have a lot more connections here than I do. And my dad really understands how I feel, and he says I'm feeling it to more degree than they are with this loneliness, especially now with our lockdown upcoming on Monday for 2 weeks. I don't know how long it's going to go on. I wish I wear my mask everywhere I go, even though it's uncomfortable. It can be very uncomfortable. It can be hard to breathe, but I don't like seeing things. Nobody likes seeing spikes like this and things happen in the state that causes them to shut down again. I guess people were getting that fatigue. What was it called? I was reading online, COVID fatigue, and just getting tired of complying with all the rules. But it's like, if you don't comply with the rules, they're gonna do this. They're gonna shut everything down again. The numbers went up, and of course, I never thought it could get much worse than it was, like in May or June, and look, now it has, and it's ruining the holidays for so many people. 2 years in a row, I won't be able to spend the holidays with my brother's family, because last year was not our family's turn to be with the family for the holidays. So we trade off every other year, Thanksgiving, Christmas. So anyway, so that being said, yeah, it's just, I just wish. I mean, I wear a mask. I wear a mask even just to go, like, if I wanted to go have a pop and a cigarette, like, on the stairs over by the Walgreens parking lot, then I'm going to wear a mask. I mean, because there's going to be people out there, there's going to be kids. I mean, people just need to comply. Otherwise, these things are going to keep happening. It's heartbreaking. I mean, no, the friend we lost was not due to COVID. He had a massive heart attack. There's just, I can't even imagine his family. I mean, his wife and son and his son's family, and it's just, at a time like this, to lose a family member, even not of COVID. I mean, I don't know. I just don't know. There are no words, but the good thing out of all this, and I wanted to follow up to my copycat fillet of fish video, is that my dad could see my pain and see my struggle and see that it wasn't directed at either him or my mom, which sometimes I think my mom feels like it's directed at her, it's an attack on her. I'm like, no, Mom, I try telling her this is not about you. This is just about the whole situation. And, and anyway, he said, I don't want to go far from Santa Fe because of the spike in the COVID cases. So we will go to a town which is about, I want to say, it may be close to 20 miles, maybe between 15 and 20 miles south of here. on the Turquoise Trail Route 14 called Cerrillos. It's a very small, like less than 1,000 people population. There's a state park. I don't know about the state park closures, if that's going to happen on Monday. I don't know what's up with that. The lakes and such have been closed all this time, and I have not been able to see a body of water since, well, actually, probably since my birthday when we drive by the Rio Grande. But anyway, I have not seen a body of water. I wanted to go to Lake Manzano on the mountain air trip, and it was closed. But Cerrillos, there's no lake or anything. It's a state park and has a lot of hiking trails, really tough hiking trails, because out here it's very rocky and, a lot of rock, a lot of rocky and steep climbs in the trails and the hills. It's called Cerrillos Hill State Park in Cerrillos. And we had started a hike 2 summers ago, when we moved, right after we moved here, and we never really finished it because at the time we weren't used to the altitude. We couldn't finish the hike. And now that we've 2.5 years later, as we've both adjusted, we've all adjusted to the altitude, and we think we can finish our hike tomorrow. And that would be good. There's a petting zoo, an animal park zoo thing in town. I doubt the restaurant will be open. I think there's only really one actual restaurant. There's a bar, store. It's very small, but it is a tourist spot. It's a good place to go to just walk around and film, because there's just a lot of old. It kind of looks like a ghost town. I mean, it really does almost. I mean, it practically is a ghost town. There's really not a whole lot there, and not much population at all. So, but it does have the state park and the train. I'm not sure about the railroad. There is a railroad running through it. And there's one other place that's really interesting in town. I don't know how to, it's a business, but I don't know how to explain exactly what it does. I mean, they have yoga, and they have a hippie type shop inside, an artistic hippie new age type shop with a lot of cool stuff. Expensive, but cool. So that looks like what we may be doing tomorrow. Or I did get a little sleep this evening for a couple hours. I'm trying. It's just very hard. This what you see here with the emojis. I bought this at Walmart yesterday. They sell I was looking for something to do. A lot of these art and craft kits are really expensive. I had to buy food. I had to buy so many ingredients just for one recipe, and I ended up having to borrow stuff from my mom, because buying all the ingredients for this recipe was just overwhelming. I had I don't think I had more than one or two of the ingredients, and it was just a whole bunch of stuff. So I ended up having to spend pretty much all my money on that. And I did get some clothing items. But anyway, I did get a chance to buy this. It's like a fabric, and I'm not a sewer at all, but I like to make little bracelets, rings. I made this little ring out of the Emoji Fabric. I had wanted at one time to take up sewing. I just don't have steady hand. My fine motor skills are bad, so a sewing machine. I've used a sewing machine. I did a project to help the animals in Australia back in January of this year. It was a really rewarding project that I got to do at a local tap room or brewery or something, but they were doing a project there for sewing pouches for the baby kangaroos in Australia back in January. So that was a really cool and fulfilling experience back then, and that was this year, right before, maybe a couple months before this all started. So of course they can't do anything like that now, but it really made me feel good to think that I was helping those devastating fires that killed so many animals in Australia. So anyway, that's where my interest started in sewing or making things with like fabrics. This is a ring. It's hard to kind of see it, but there it is. Yeah, putting the camera on it doesn't make it I don't know, it doesn't do just well, it's nothing really. It's just a little ring made with this fabric. And I found this emoji fabric and I really wanted to buy one of those craft kits, even like it's like these are kids craft kits that cost up to $20, and I'm like thinking, geesh, where do these young kids get the money to buy all this stuff? But anyway, so that's that. That's my emoji fabric ring. You can see. And that's the emoji fabric. And that's what I was doing. I mean, I don't know what much I can do with it. I wanted to make my own bandana out of it. I don't know quite how to make my own bandana, but I could look it up on YouTube, I guess. Anyway, yeah, so that's what's up. Cerrillos tomorrow in the morning, I hope. I don't know what time the funeral for my parents, for our friend on Facebook. Anyway, just finishing up this video, was just saying that the funeral for our friend is going to be on Facebook sometime tomorrow, I believe in the afternoon, tomorrow, Saturday, and so I probably would go to Cerrillos in the morning, and I did get a little sleep, so I have my energy drinks and stuff, so I'm ready to hike, and I'm ready to do it, and just get out there. Exercise makes me happier, boosts my mood, makes me feel better about myself and my appearance, and I just think it would be really good for me, and I'm so glad my dad suggested it. It gave me like a glimmer of hope, and like, it almost made me feel like there was like a pot of gold at the end of the ring. Oh, and as far as that lottery ticket yesterday, I did win a free ticket. So, you know, it wasn't all a waste of money, I guess. But, you know, sometimes I just do impulsive things. Not too often, though. I really don't buy lottery tickets. I don't play like a big lotto, and I really don't like doing those scratch-offs. This is probably the second scratch-off ticket I bought in the last 2.5 years living here in New Mexico, ever, like here. Well, like the second one in 2.5 years, so that says something about my impulsivity, but that it's going away, it's becoming more non-existent. So anyway, you all take care. I love you, and I'll leave you with this shot of my emoji fabric. I will see you all from Cerrillos Park in the AM. Okay, bye-bye.